Welcome to your second lecture. Now we are going to learn about logarithms. The outcome that we would like to achieve is stating the laws of logarithms and also changing the base of logarithm. Okay, so from the video that you have watched just now, this is the main part or the most important thing to answer this first example. This letter A is known as base. This letter N, this letter X is known as exponent or index or also power. Okay, so if you want to change from index form to a logarithm form, the base would be here and then exponent will be here. Example 1a. 5 to the power 3 equal to 125. Change it to logarithmic notation. Since 5 is the base and 3 is the exponent or index, then you can just write in terms of logarithmic form like this, where below of log should be would be the base and then exponent would be there. Okay. Sample 1b. X is the base and then y is the exponent or the power. So this would be the logarithmic form. Without using calculator, find the value of these logs. Okay, so you can solve it like this, but I prefer it to solve it like this. So let's say the final answer is y. Okay, so to solve this, we have to change it to index form. Remember, this is the base and this is the index or exponent. So what you should do is change it to index form. We start with the base and then the power is index and is equal to number 1/8. So to find the value of y, you have to make sure both left and right side have the same base. So how to change 8 to 2? 8 is actually 2 to the power of 3. Next, you have to make sure they are on the same level, but 2 is at the denominator. So how to change it? You have to change 3 and put it on top by putting -3. So from here, the answer is y equal to -3. So the final answer is -3. Okay, so for the second example, you also do the same thing, but you can also solve it like this. Okay, so if this is equal to y, you do the same thing, change from log to index form. This is the base, start with the base and then write the power here and it's equal to 4. Make sure both left and right side have the same base. The smallest number here that you can see is number 2, so of course the base will be 2. So you have to change this base on the left side and bring 2 up. And how to bring 2 up is by using rule of indices, and this is going to be 2 to the power of negative 1. 4 will be changed to 2 to the power of 2. Remember, from the rule of indices, you can multiply this. So this is 2 to the power of negative y. And then, since we have the same base both on left and right side, we can just compare the power or index. So the answer is negative 2. These are the laws of logarithms that you have to memorize, and you have learned this in school. And these are the properties that you have watched from the previous video. Take note the logarithm properties on number 4. I bet this is something new for you because you have not learned this in school, I think. So, how to memorize this rule number 4? A is the base of the index, and then A is also the base of log. So if they have both of the same base, then it's kind of like you can cancel them off, sort of, and then the final answer is what's left here. Okay, so that's how you memorize this formula, because they are not going to give you this formula in the exam. It's the same thing for log base 10. So since log stands for log base 10, so they have the same base, so we sort of like cancel them off, and then you get x here. And same for natural logarithm. Since ln stands for log base e, and you have the same base here, you sort of like cancel them off, and the answer is that. Okay, so straight to the next example. Example 3. Given these two informations, how to find log 12? Log 2 means this is log base 10. Okay, so to solve this, we have to use these rules. Okay, as you can see, log 12 can be written as 2 times 6. And then we can use this first rule, change it to plus. Since log 2 is equal to 0.301, you substitute the values, and this is also given. Okay, just add both of the answers and you get this. Okay, example 4. Write the following as single logarithms. Single logarithms means that from 1 to 3 logs, we want to change to only 1 log with something inside. Okay, so look at this rule of logarithms. If this is minus, you change it to divide, and if this is plus, you change it to times with a single log. Okay, so it's going to be like this. From minus sign, you change to divide. So 8 divide with 6. 8 divide with 6. That's why 8 divide with 6. And then from plus sign, you change to times. So that's why 8 times with 9 and not 6. So the answer is log 12. Example B. 2 natural log of x plus 7 minus natural log of x. Okay, so how to combine this? You have the number 2 in front of the natural log. So to combine this logarithm, you have to make sure that there's no number in front of the logarithms. But if there is, what you have to do is use the law of logarithm and bring it up like that. After that, then you can combine them to a single logarithm. So since there's a minus here, that means we're going to use the second rule, which is this one. Okay, and then change minus to divide with only a single log, right? So if you want to change base, this is something new, I think, for you. So let's say you don't want to use base A, you want to use something else. For example, base B. So you change from base A to base B, and the formula is going to be this number stays at the numerator and the base will be at the denominator, and you have to divide 2 logs, not 1 log. Okay, remember the formula carefully. But let's say if we want to change the base to the same number as B, so that means the numerator will be log B base B, and then the denominator will be log A base B. Since log B base B is also equal to 1, then it's going to be 1 over log A base B. So these are the two formulas that you have to remember. Okay, so look at this example. To solve this question, we have to make sure the base of the log are the same, but for this question they are not the same, so we have to use the change of base formula. So are we going to change the base to be set 6 or set 3? It's up to you. You can also change base to other base, for example 2 or 3 or 4, up to you, as long as you can cancel off and simplify without using calculator. So make sure you choose a wise base. So for me, I prefer to use set 6. Okay, so if A is set 6, oh sorry, okay, so since we want to change log set 3 6 by using this formula, we want to change set 3 to set 6. So according to the formula, this is B, this is our new base. So our new base is set 6, and then from the formula this is C, which is the same, so I just have to copy down number 6, and then here at the denominator is just the base, so I just have to copy down the base, which is set 3 here. So from there, that's where I got this. Okay, next step. This fraction looks a little bit complicated because we have 3 levels. So how to make it simpler? You just have to bring this up here. Why? Okay, if I explain, and it's a little bit long. Let's say on top, number 2 is A. It's big A. And you divide with B over C. So this is A over B over C. A is divided with B over C. And then when you divide, you can change it to multiplication, and then you can change the order of this fraction Since a is a over 1, you multiply numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator, so that's where you get a times c over b. Okay, that step is a little bit more advanced. So before you reach that step, you are going to get this answer first. Okay, so why is it that we change 6 to be set 6 squared? Are they the same? Yes, they do mean the same thing, because when square meets square root, they can cancel off, and then the answer is just the same. But why do we change it to that form? Well, that's because we want to use this rule. Log a base a is equal to 1. So if the base is the same, the value of these two are the same, then the answer is 1. So since we cannot use our calculator, that's why we change 6 to be set 6. But to make sure that they are still equal, that's why you have to write square there. Okay, so but you can't just simply change this to 1. You have to make sure that the power is not there. Let's say this is power of m, then you have to bring m to the front. Please ignore the sound, the background noise. Okay, so this is log a base a is equal to 1 times with m. Okay, so bring the power to the front, and then you can change this to 1. Okay, if there's still power, you cannot change it to 1. Okay, and then since 2 can divide with 2, you can cancel them off, and the final answer is like that. But since in the middle there's a plus sign and both logs have the same base, now you can combine by using the rule. Okay, then you can just combine. Okay, thank you, that's all.